Guys, I have been wanting Twinkle to do a session for a long time. And I'm so glad it is happening today in our Reconnect and Recharge series. This is our initiative to keep the community together during these stressful times. This is our initiative so that nobody is lonely in this journey. And hopefully, in a few weeks, we'll be looking back and smiling at everything that has gone through this long month of March, which is hopefully over now. Thank you so much, Twinkle, for doing this
Thank you,
session on
Rima.
behalf
Thank
of
you. Thank you so much.
IWD. And I think today we've picked a very different topic. मेरे को echo आ रहा है लोग please mute कर लो whoever is there. Madhuri, can you mute? Yeah, it will help me. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we are over to discussing more about finances today, and the whole idea is not panicking and being prepared in every possible situation. Twinkle is an expert in this. Not only is she super at yoga, by the way, guys, that's a hidden gem that is there. She's amazing at yoga also. So she's a multi-talented personality, but finance is what she does for everyday living. Twinkle, take it over. Thank you so much for doing this session for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So today, what I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to focus on. Firstly, no investments, no saving, no insurance. That those sessions you already have had. So what we are going to go through the session, we are going to go through 5 different sections, and under each section there are various points that we should be taking care, or if we have not kind of noted or taken care, we must look at those points and see how well we are prepared, because the situations that we are in, and you never know when, we will definitely going to come out of the situation, but these points that we take care are going to help us not now but throughout the whole journey of our life, and so as with the financial journey of the life as well. So it's the title itself, it says not panicking but preparing. So how are we going to prepare in different stages of our financial life? That is what I want to discuss. I mean, feel free to ask any questions. It's kind of open thing, so I wanted to keep it like more open, though the format is a presentation, but as and when you want to ask something, please feel free to ask. I'll share my screen. So as the title says, it's prepared and not panicked, a 5-zone financial resilience checklist. So what we are going to do now, each one of us are going to go through the, each section will have about 3 to 5 pointers, and we're just going to tick mark the point that we think that we are prepared, and we just going to keep a note of a point which we think that we need to work on, not as an individual but as a family with a partner, and see how best we get a tick mark to that point. So the question why I came up with this is, there was so many talks going around, so many friends, so many family that we have been hearing. There is something like people are scared about the jobs, scared about the reduction in the salary, even about our businesses. There is some kind of stagnancy which has come. So I thought, why don't we think through what all points that is, which will make us financially stable, at least that point of emotion hindrance that we shouldn't be facing, so that we can focus towards the other things that is required at this point in time. So this checklist basically covers the most important resilience statements every expat family in the UAE should be able to tick. It is organized in 5 different areas. Work through each one, take what is true for you today and leave blank what isn't, and the gaps that you can put it on your action list. So first zone is about cash and the excess of the cash. We all say that, okay, we have cash, but how accessible the cash is, how ready with the cash that we are, that we think that we have. So why this matters is because financial ease comes not from how much that we own, what we own, but how seamlessly we can access, we coordinate and deploy or use it when we need it. So there are 4 points which are highlighted here. So if we go through these 4 points and get ready with these 4 points, which will help us to have the access to the cash and we be ready in case if we need it. So the first point, you just ask yourself and see how prepared you are. The first point is, I have clear visibility on my immediate available cash. Funds available within 24 to 48 hours. And this is separate from my long-term assets. This is not my gold. This is not my property. This is not my long-term investments, which if I have to liquidate, which is going to take maybe 7 days to 7 months. So I'm just talking about a visible, clear cash, which is accessible within 24 to 48 hours. And that too also from a click of a button, where I don't have to ask for anybody's help. Me, myself, is able to access this cash. Second point is, my household maintains a thoughtfully structured liquidity buffer aligned to our lifestyle needs. When I say liquidity buffer, it means that 3 months to 6 months of my daily needs, immediate needs. It's like food, the school fees, the rent, petrol. So 3 to 6 months of household expenses that is structured, and I have that liquidity buffer which is aligned to my lifestyle needs. That's point number two. Point number three is, my banking structure is intentionally diversified, reducing reliance on a single access point. What I mean here is, I'm sure we have, I mean, some of us have had or have accounts with FAB, ADCB, and what we saw is online access, online portal was not working. There was so many difficulty in accessing the account. So the ideal situation is, keep your account at least at two different banks. So it's intentionally, it's not for some other purposes, but it's with the intention, with this bank, at least I will keep my liquidity 3 to 6 months of my liquid amount in this particular bank, apart from my salary account or my immediate bank account or my business bank account. There is a separate account which holds my emergency liquidity. So number three, let's see, are we tick marking or we need to work on it? Please work on it and open the online bank account. Number four, my partner and I share full financial awareness. That means we both know our accounts, our excess, what are our obligations, what are our immediate, if we have a car loan or a personal loan, what is immediate obligations and the priorities, what is first priority, which gets paid first. So we both have a clear awareness about all these things, what all are the number of accounts, number of access points, and the obligations. Any questions still here? Hello?
No questions.
Okay, it's making sense.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, Twinkle.
Lots.
Okay, I'll go to the next one. So number two is income and employment exposure. Why this matters is, your buffer isn't just covering the bills, it may need to cover a period of uncertainty. So like now, the times that we are in, it brings in so much of uncertainty, isn't it? We know that, I mean, when you go out, you feel like when you sit in a cafe, when you go out in an office, it feels so normal. But then when no sooner there is a mobile goes buzzing, it brings in so much of uncertainty. So times like these, there are certain things that you must put your attention towards. So there are 3 points under this subsequent zone. Number one is, I have walked through what happens in month one, which is like, if my income should suffer, what happens in month number one, which is what gets paid, what can wait, and which commitments are truly non-negotiable. So make a list of the things, keep it handy so that you know, because in our head we have certain ideas what gets paid, what can wait, but there are certain things when the time comes then we realize, oh, I never thought about this, or oh, I should have taken care of this first. So make a list of all those points that is required, or all those areas which needs paying, which needs expenses incurred. So make a list of all this and make a list saying that, okay, these are number one, two, three must be paid. This are one and two can wait. And these are like completely non-negotiables. So make a list and keep it handy. Number two, I have written down my true fixed monthly commitments, which are like rent, school fees, my domestic staff, car payments, loan, insurances, remittances. Remittances, I mean, is what needs to go back home, and subscriptions. Everything what I said, it is just the extension of point one, but here it talks about everything, like my subscription, even my Netflix subscription, uh, my XYZ, my any subscription that it is on. So it takes, you are noting down each and everything in a list. Number three is my household's essential lifestyle is funded from base salary, not from bonus, commissions, or variable income that could change. So now, when you have list one and list two ready, make sure that list one and list two, most of the items those are listed are funded from your base salary, and nothing is funded from the bonus or the commissions or a variable element. So make sure and prepare the list accordingly. So your number one list has to be based on your point number three. Make sure that that is funded from your base salary. So make your list accordingly. So that's about income and employment exposure. Or even if you are running your business, make sure, like, in case if the business goes through certain ups and downs, what is that you have to pay first to keep your business life? Your business is also important along with your home, taking care of all those expenses. Business minimum business expenses or must business expenses also should run. So similarly, this exercise should happen for your businesses as well. Number three is about debt and household flexibility. So why this matter is the high interest revolving balances are just expensive. When I'm saying high interest revolving balances, I mean about credit card. So you have like tabby on credit card, or there are certain things which are taken from credit card, and in uncertain times like this, we tend to make minimum payment, but we don't realize the debt which is outstanding. The cost of funding, or cost, the interest that I'm paying is about 30 to 36%, which is even far higher than taking a personal loan from the bank. So make sure, make a list of the things that is running on your credit card, and also at the same time make sure that it is not running on a minimum payment basis. Whatever is due, you make sure that you pay the debit card, a credit card debt is to be paid 100%, or else move the debt or pay those high interest revolving debt first, clear that off, and then come back to your expenses, whatever is required. So first, if you see, number one here is I'm not carrying revolving credit card debt. The balances at 30 to 36% interest can quickly reduce your financial flexibility. So first is credit card. Second is my personal loans and my car finances would still be manageable if my income dipped by 20 to 30%. So make sure, take control of your car finances and even the personal loans, and it shouldn't be increased. It shouldn't increase more than, you should be able to pay the interest on it, even if your income dropped by 20 to 30%. So make sure and accordingly manage your loans or your car finances and credit cards. Number three, I have pressure tested my household budget. So I know what gets cut first, what can't be cut, and where the flex is before I need it. So, where is that flexibility? Where is that cushion that I can manage? So, make some cushion and make sure that this is for, I mean, I should be able to cut down on this cushion if need be so that I can take care of number one and number two here. So, credit card debt first, personal loan second, car finances third. So, should have that cushion in my budgeting so that should the time arise, I should be able to clear off number one and number two first. Are we all there? I'm just checking.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Number four is about insurances, checking on the insurances that we have. There are times where, I mean, some of us would have taken insurances no sooner we landed in Dubai. So it is like about 10 years back, 12 years back, 15 years back. So make sure that my life cover reflects my current life, not an older version of it. The policies arranged before children or before taking a mortgage, because mortgage is also a liability as good as my life liability. So before having children or have before taking a mortgage, see that it still takes care of all this. Like it takes care of children liability, it takes care of mortgage liability, or a bigger lifestyle may now be dangerously inadequate. So make sure that it's not inadequate. Number two is I have a critical illness or income protection in place and I understand what it actually covers, how it pays, and what the waiting periods are. Make sure I have critical illness in place, which in turn is my income protection. So if I'm not able to work for next 6 to 12 months due to an illness, or if I'm not able to go back to work, at least I have that financial resource ready, which will take care of my medicines, my medical bills. I don't have to take it out from my investments or from my savings. Number three, my home insurance is in place, content insurance, realistically covering what is inside my house: electronics, jewelry, work equipment, and children's items. So please check what is covered and what home insurance that you had taken, and it still covers that the items that you have at home. Number four, I have read the exclusions in my key insurance policies and I know what it actually covers, not what I hope it covered. So make sure that you read all your insurance documents line by line, in between the lines. Number five is portfolio and asset structure. So my investments that I hold. Why this is important? Because the biggest danger here is the stress period that we are in. So emotional decisions are the worst decisions because people panic and they sell the good assets that they are holding. So, and they stop investing. If you are holding a regular saving plan, please continue investing. Don't stop investing because you are holding that investment for a goal in your life. It wasn't taken for this particular day today. It was taken for a goal which is going to come in 5 years time, in 7 years time, 10 years time. The goal is not come today. So please don't stop making investments. Don't hold on to too much of cash, because holding on too much of cash is also not good because the actual value is depreciating. Don't make rushed property decisions. Don't go out in the market and don't try to sell the property, say that the markets are going to crash. No, hold on to the property that you are holding. And much of the financial damage during stress periods comes from the emotional decisions. So don't make any emotional drastic decisions. Hold on to what you have and go through the purpose why you, the investment that you have made, the what was the purpose behind it, and is it still serving that purpose? Make sure it's not emotional. take time to evaluate everything. So number one here is I have enough liquid assets alongside. Make sure that you have enough liquid assets so that you don't have to worry about the assets that was taken for a long term. So again, the liquidity matters here. So I have enough liquid assets alongside my illiquid ones, which are like property, fixed term deposits, and pensions with excess rules. Those are good assets. So make sure that you have enough liquidity so that you don't have to sell your good assets. Number two, I have a clear plan to avoid emotional investment decisions during market stress. No panic selling, no stopping contributions, no holding on to cash out of fear. Number three, I am not treating property and gold as substitute for accessible cash. Property is not a cash. Property is a strong long-term asset. It is not a poor emergency fund. So it is a poor emergency fund. It's not your emergency fund. So if you are thinking property will help when the time that you need money, no. Property is a long-term asset. It will not create emergency funds. So don't treat property or gold as an emergency fund. Gold is good. Gold is long-term investment. Gold is good. But then when you need the cash or when you need to go out of the country for certain time, you want to take care of yourself and you don't want to take care of the gold that you have kept in your house. So make sure that even if you're holding on to gold, please hold it in a digital form, not in the hard form, because you want to save yourself rather than saving your gold. My portfolio is genuinely diversified. My income, housing, and investments are not all tied to one growth story or one region. Yes, we all love Dubai, we all love UAE, but make sure that my entire investments, my entire saving is not based on the UAE growth story. So I don't have, I mean, my 100% real estate is not in like UAE. My savings is not 100% in UAE. Make sure that you have accounts at two different jurisdictions. You have one account in UAE, make sure that you have account in maybe in India, maybe in offshore, wherever it is. Make sure that you keep certain portion of money which you need for now, for next 3 to 6 months, considering all your expenses, and put your other money, other funding in the money, either in India, in offshore, in dollar deposits in India, but make sure that you diversify it and you manage your accounts very well, manage your savings, manage your investments. At this point in time, we all love one story, but make sure that that story has different characters. And this is the most important thing. I haven't numbered it because this is the first important thing. The most important thing is legal protection and family continuity. Legal protection is talking about wills. Make sure that you have will in place. And when I say will in place, make sure it is drafted by a lawyer. Take a lawyer's help to draft your will. Number two, which is the most important thing, I have a family continuity life, maybe in a hard format or a digital form. There is a file which is named as vault, which stores soft copies of your passport, your IDs, emergency money details, bank account details, school contacts, insurance contacts, your beneficiary details, medication, pet records, vet details, legal contacts, and one page emergency action plan, all in one place. And this is accessible by yourself as well as by your partner or a family member that you trust. But make sure you have this vault file or a folder on your I mean, in a hard form or digital form on your PC. No sooner we end this session, I'm sure whatever you take it, but please take this point to the A to Z of this and make sure that you have this. And I know IW, this is the last part. I know IWN loves challenges. I keep on saying, though I'm not active member, but I am the member who looks through all the messages that come in the IWN. So you all love challenges. So my request to all of you here is pick up 2 points from the list below, and we have a 21 days. 21 days is a good time, is the time where you can form a habit. So take up any 2 points from the list below. First is read your bank and credit card statement line by line. So within next 21 days, please do this. Read your bank and credit card statement line by line. This will open up so many entries that you would never have paid attention to. Second, track every expenses for 3 days. Any 3 days you pick up from 21 days, but track each and every expense. Even one fill counts, or a 50 fills count, or a 500 dirhams to a 5,000 dirham, whatever you spend. Pick up any 3 days, no exceptions, but write down each and every expense. Number three, pick 2 days to spend no money. Save only 5% more than the last month that you saved. Next is cancel one unused subscription. Calculate your financial freedom number. I mean, sit with an Excel sheet, whoever loves playing with the numbers. Do the math, saying that, okay, this is your expenses today. In next 10 years, what is going to be the expense that you will need? And when you are 60, what is that amount that you will need if the inflation is at 3%, 4%? If you are going to, if I'm going to go back to India, probably it's 6%, 7%. So just put some numbers in. I'm sure you will enjoy it, and it will open probably the third eye chakra. Next is understand different financial terms. Example, what is asset? What is liability? Pick up two liabilities which you thought were assets. I'm not going to give this, or I'm not going to explain. Just Google or put it put it in chat GPT. Let GPT answer you. Two liabilities which you thought were assets. You thought those were assets, but those are actually liabilities. Build a just for me fund. Now I'm saying just for me, it's only for you. For you now, for you in 10 years' time, or for you who wants to enjoy the life after having finished, or after having paid attention to all the responsibilities, after completing all your responsibilities. Just for you, what is that fund? What would look like to you? One more, automate a minimum savings amount each month. When I say each month, and that is also automate. Don't say that I'm going to save this and I'm saving it. No, automate it, because we all know where we lack and how truthful and how faithful we are to ourselves. So automate it. So these are the points I have given. Just pick up 2 points. And I mean, you don't have to do it now, today. Within 21 days, just do these 2 points.
Can you please explain the last point, if you don't mind? Automate a minimum savings amount each month. What is automate again? If you can explain that, please.
So automate is either you can have, it's like, what is the comfortable amount that you can save every month? Comfortable, I mean, is you think that I want to, say for an example, I decided I want to save, say 2,000 dirhams. Today it's look nice, and it is like, I'm all excited and said, I'm going to save. Okay. Next month I'll say that, I'll think, what I need to spend. I shouldn't have thought about 2,000. I could have thought about, like, I could have decided 1,500. So first, make sure that you decide on the amount which you think is very comfortable amount. Start with that amount each month, and fix up a date. On this particular date, you will put this fixed amount in a separate bank account or a separate savings plan. Same day, even your bank account will allow you, say there are certain bank accounts, I mean, we'll just take this offline. There is a BO bank account. if we are okay with the time, I'll explain it here. Maybe a biobank account or a savings plan where you will give the instruction, I will buy, say, probably a S&P 500 ETF, which is the least, I mean, which is no brainer, which is the least riskier investment, probably less riskier than your fixed deposit also. Automate. Or even if you want to buy gold, digital gold, automate it, saying that with this 1,000 dirhams, with this 2,000 dirhams, I'm going to buy on 5th of every month this particular investment. And it goes automatically. You have instructed bank saying that debit my account, it goes automatically. So you don't have to say that, okay, and then your mind is not fooling with you saying that, okay, this month I need to, spend here. I mean, I need to take care of this. I have to pay. It's my son's birthday, my daughter's birthday, my husband's birthday, or it's my 10th anniversary. No such excuses. It's automated.
Okay. Okay.
So this is what I have explained here. Like when you say automated, I've explained it here, like how
Love
automatic
it.
investing work.
I love the idea of challenge, Twinkle. That was really interesting and actually, you gave me the idea. So we might just pick on your ideas and do it next month. We might just do it practically for IW and we'll test if everyone's interested. So these are very practical things to do. So it's awesome.
Correct. Because if you pick up like two, no, if any one from first
Huh.
three will give you the list of the unnecessary expenses or
I agree.
expenses that you have never paid attention to that you have actually spent on this.
Yes, and sometimes we just ignore these chotu expenses, right?
Yes,
But they can add up. I love all the IWN members are giving thumbs up, so we are up for it. So I will give you all due credit, but we'll try it in May. Because April ka
please do
challenge we
it.
are already ready with. But May we'll do it for our members, and we'll do. And I think if we do it in a group, there'll be more accountability, and more people will actually action it. So we'll
Yes,
definitely try it. Thank you.
thank you so much. And this is where, like, when I spoke about automatic investing, this is what it means. Like, savings each month, I'm saving each month 100, I put it dollar, dirham, whatever it is, whatever currency it is, each month I'm saving. In 30 years' time, this is how it will look like. 200, how it will look like, and 500, how it will look like. But in actual terms, because of the inflation, today with 100, I can buy certain things, but in 5 years' time, maybe I can buy only peanut. Or in 10 years' time, it will give me only peanut. So that's how the value of money depreciates. So as my savings will depreciate, the actual value will depreciate. But if I'm investing 100 with a rate of return of 8%, it will be $149,000. If I'm investing 200, it will be 298,000. If I'm investing 500, after 30 years, it will be 745,000. So, if I'm saying $200 and 298,000, I mean dollars, it means that I'm practically a millionaire in dirham terms if I'm saving only 200, which is what? It's less than about 600 dirhams. So 500 dirhams is making me a dirham millionaire in 30 years. So that's the importance of investing, and that to also discipline investing. And that's about it. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, if you understand more, please book one-to-one.
Yeah, this might be a one-to-one question, right, Twinkle? But I just wanted to know: do you have a view on investing in, equities versus bonds versus different markets? And how do you decide where to invest?
So, okay. So first of all, there are different investment classes, what you said, equity, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds. So first I'll start with for somebody who is invested before or somebody who's not invested. And what is the time frame that you are looking at? What is my intention? If I have time and I'm going to pay attention or I am learned about investments, then stock is the best thing.
Okay.
Have the time, because otherwise I don't want to keep myself every 15 minutes, no sooner, like it's like 6:37 in the evening, I'm just checking what happened to my stock, what happened.
Yeah,
Because
I'm just doing a case study, but assuming we are women and, I have an extra 1,000 dirhams every month, which I'm
yes,
saving, but I don't have time to do live trading. So I'm just coming up
yes.
with that scenario that I can put aside 1,000 dirhams a month. What do I do with that money?
So best would be ETF, which is exchange traded fund. I'll give exchange traded fund could be, what exchange traded means is there are exchanges, right? We have BSC exchange, S&P exchange. So BSC is in India, S&P is in the US. So because we all earn in dirhams, which is practically dollars, and we have seen rupee depreciating, so it's always fair or it's ideal to invest in dirhams, which is equivalent to dollars. So we pick up then S&P. Now, what is S&P ETF is? S&P ETF is tracking 503 US companies. So when I say 503 companies, which are those companies? The primary or major companies are Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. So these are the companies we use practically every day. We use Apple, we use Amazon. I mean, we have been using those companies, and everyone in the whole world is using those companies. So everyone is aware. And you see the movement of those companies, the stock isn't drastical. It's not going to go down to 50%, 70%. So your S&P is comprising of those 500 companies. In stocks, when I'm investing in stocks, I can invest in one stock, two stock, 10 stocks, but here I'm diversifying in 500 companies. So that's where it's like no brainer. I'm investing 1,000, I invest in a tracker fund so that I don't have to worry. And if you see, S&P is always fared out. Even the markets, when like markets were playing, like each stock probably have gone down to 15% to 30%, like 5% to 30, 40%, but S&P was down only by 6% because of the diversification. And it has always year on year, it has averaged out 10%. So last 25 years track record shows in dollars, it has given like 10 to 12%. So that's no brainer. Invest in S&P
Wonderful.
500
Okay.
ETF only.
One last question before I hand it over to everybody.
Yes.
When you say invest, like for example, I bank with VO. VO has an investment option, right?
Yes.
There is a tab there. Is that
Yes.
a safe thing to use, or do you recommend certain specific platforms only should be used for doing our investments?
You can start with VO because VO is very easy. Start with VO. Once you have certain amount, then I would say always open, like say international account like IBKR. So once you get to use to or get into habit of investing regularly, then open up your IBKR account so that you're keeping your money offshore. It's not in local account where I said like use keep your certain money what you need here in UAE and rest you are investing offshore.
Wonderful. Thank you for clarifying. I'll keep quiet now. I'll hand it over to everybody else for asking questions.
Sure.
Sujata, go ahead. You can just unmute.
Okay, hi. So, yeah, it's a very interesting session. In fact, I was, just starting to get used to investing and all those things. So, all this is making a lot of sense to me. Two, three questions I have always had is one, we always talk about inflation, and when we are trying to plan ahead of time, like, 10 years ahead of time, 20 years ahead of time, and I want to
Yes.
beat inflation, how do we
Yes.
kind of, beat it? Through, I mean, can it be beaten through one source of investment, or do we need multiple sources of investment to beat that inflation and still be able to make a substantial profit to reach the goal that we want to reach? Because anytime I try to choose any kind of, let's say, for example, even if I calculate for a mutual fund over a period of time, yes, it has given me substantial returns, but then again, if it's just one or two mutual funds, then it doesn't kind of beat the inflation. So like you said, what I can buy, I can probably buy a kilo of rice now, but I can just buy 10 peanuts 10 years later. So
Correct.
how do we kind of make that balance between beating inflation and making good profit for ourselves?
Okay, that's a very good question. So first of all, like your jigsaw or a pizza pie. So there is a pocket for everyone. So for us also, for like making sure that we are sailing through beautifully through our financial part of our life. There has to be different pockets for different needs. So you definitely need certain cash for emergency. You will need certain money in, say, a fixed deposit or so, uh, so that in case of like certain worst market situation happening, we just don't know, this is going to help. And then certain money goes into ETFs. When I say mutual funds, because we all have invested in mutual funds before in India always, but now when you have access to ETFs are far better in terms of when it comes to the charging. So even if you see mutual funds underneath, they investing either in the stocks or ETFs. Then why don't you yourself invest in ETFs? The expense ratio on a ETF would be like say 0.3% to maximum 0.7%, whereas mutual fund will charge you somewhere between 1.5 to 2%. So that's where you invest in ETFs and diversify. So if you're making on an average, and then where you are investing, if you are investing in India and making 10-12%, of course the currency depreciation and inflation is eating away all the profits that you made. But if you are investing in US market via your UAE earnings, it makes sense. If you're making 10-12%, not taking too much of risk, ideally 10-12% via ETF is the fair point, because considering here you don't have like your average inflation is about 2.5-3%, making makes sense then to invest and on your returns. And then if you have like if you built sort substantial portfolio, then go in and invest into, say, probably what you want to invest into, Bitcoin or all those fancy names.
Hmm. So, basically, then you talked about the S&P ETF in the UAE. How does one open that kind of an account?
So you can invest via VO also,
Hmm.
and you can start to invest. VO has an investment element. So when no sooner you open personal VO bank account, it has a
Yeah.
separate
Yeah.
click of a button where you can invest. You open an investment account. That's one
Yeah.
way. So that's you start to invest in ETF, and that too regularly. Don't see where the markets are down, markets are up. So making
Right.
money over a period of time is the regular and the fixed day, fixed time, because we are
Hmm.
not the market experts, like that this is what we do and we have picked up the right time. No, that we can never.
Hmm.
And then see how it functions. And once you have built a substantial amount, then move it to IB care or so. And saying that if you want to, like, if you have a goal, say if you want to have your child's education plan in place or a retirement plan, then probably look at having those certain sort of plans in place also.
Like ULIPs, for example, those kind of things.
Yeah, not exactly ULIP, but very similar, which is a digital form.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Because no sooner you say ULIP, it's going to eat up a lot of your profits into
It
charges.
does. It does. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful. Any other questions? Okay, I think we're all good. Thank you, Twinkle. Thank you for doing
Thank
this
you so
amazing
much.
session.